little.
Okay. Well, are you... Hello, everyone. Hello. We have been having just endless technical issues today. Yeah, I think I finally got... Oh, my Twitch decided to disconnect itself, like, right as I was transferring over. That's amazing.
Chaos Ray!
I think we're okay now. I think we're okay now.
Chaos Ray!
Okay, yeah. This is, oh, this
okay.
is...
It's okay.
Wow. What a day.
It's okay, take 53.
Oh, no, but it is like take 17 at this point. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Oh, Fuji, why are you doing me like this tonight? Not tonight, Fuji, please.
No, Fuji, no.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Velix, and this is Crazy Toddler.
Hi.
And we are back doing,
shenanigans.
Doing shenanigans. Doing another Worldforge Thursday. And this time we're headed back to Eden.
Yeah.
And you know, it would make sense to start with like, we're doing a Bishiri entry today, and it makes sense to, I guess, start with like, I don't even know, like something low level, like some kind of starter monster or something like that. But that's not what we're doing today. We are
doing the opposite end of this hill.
Yeah, we're kind of going the other way. Because you have this Reese. Well, thank you so much, darling. I'm always up for being annoyed by you. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're working on a creature that's called, was it the Sarcosian Angel?
Yes.
Yeah, we...
Those are angels.
Sarcosian Angel. Okay.
Whom she requested very excitedly about.
Yeah, so hopefully he shows up at some point.
Hopefully he shows up at some point.
But yeah, we are starting like half an hour late, so people may have moved on. We don't know what we're doing anyway.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll still have fun.
Yes. Let's see. And so I don't... Do you have a reference for this? Because I do not know what I'm supposed to be drawing, actually.
I do. Let me...
Okay. The only thing I know about the Sarcosian Angel, because it's of Eden, the only thing I know about it for sure is that,
from the Sarcosian wastes.
Yes, the only thing I know about it for sure is that it's if you have a high level encounter. How are you doing tonight, Aries? Hopefully you're doing well. I should have asked that earlier, but hopefully you're doing well.
Pencil sketch. This. Okay, so this is gonna be fairly boring, but it's a size chart, sort of. Where's the size thing? So the very top line of all those little lines is
oh my goodness, that is enormous.
12, I think that's like 14 feet at the very top where the stands that it is.
Okay, so this is a big boy.
This is a big baby. There are bigger children in this world, but this is a good size.
That is a big one.
Okay, I hate it. We just got started, but the combination
Yeah,
of
we're drawing
espresso and stuff,
spooky
I've
stuff.
gotta be right back. I'll try to make it very quick.
Can you, if you could do me a
But in the
favor and
meantime, ponder. Just ponder.
send me that via Discord, if you can.
This? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
before
Hold
you
on.
go.
Let me do my cheat that I do. My little cheat here where I just screen cap it and copy paste it.
The master hand idea? You're gonna have to tell me about this master hand idea. Because I'd like to know about it.
That should be sending to you. I'll be right back.
Alright, thank you. I have no familiarity with this whole master hand notion. A master hand is a Smash Brothers boss, which is just a hand. I mean, I don't know, I feel like that has some legs. It's kind of nifty, a bit weird. I guess like a master hand style VTuber. Oh, how would I even draw this? This thing is very insane. I actually want to do some blocking on this first. So that's what I'm going to do. The idea to... I like the idea that no one has any idea of what you're doing. That sounds suitably concerning. Let me see. What do I do with this big lab? I know there's someone out there who is like a dream catcher. I've always enjoyed kind of those like very sort of range, high concept kind of things. Let's see. I think I'm not going to be doing this thing any sort of justice. I'm going to ask for like a description of this. I really think I want a description of this. As soon as she gets back.
Alright,
Well,
I
speaking of the
apologize.
devil, no
I
worries.
apologize.
So I was gonna draw it from like trying to draw the picture, right? But I had this idea. Why don't you tell me like about what this thing is? And I'll try and like draw like your description of it. Like imagine I'm at your table. What do you describe?
Okay, so... So if someone were encountering this at a table, I would...
I mean, I imagine you'd actually just like quickly doodle something and hold it up for the party, but
I could. Well, for the party, I would have a graphic ready for them, but, or at least for this, they would have to be in the Sarcosian Wastelands or a couple very specific areas. And the Sarcosian Wastelands are actually on the Western mainland, which I guess would be kind of like if you've got like, what's something simple to equate it to? I guess the corruption in Terraria is pretty close.
okay. Okay.
You have just this wasteland that slowly kind of creeps over the landscape and changes things, and things become abominations. And the Sarcosian Angels are the apex predator of that area.
So are they natural? Or
For that location, they are.
Yeah, or do they used to be something else?
Haven't totally... I guess there's a chance that maybe once upon a time they could have been human, because they have the slightly human face and some features going on.
Okay.
Which is a trend for some of the other things that we ended up throwing into the Sarcosian Wastelands, like the Tipper, which is much like a human torso, but he's got little bone pegs for limbs instead of like full arms and legs. Doesn't really have a face anymore. He's kind of all teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, this isn't like I said before we started stream. This isn't like a level 7 or 8 party is gonna walk into this and expect to come out if they were that level.
This is like something that the party might like fight one of at like level 15, and that would be like a problem.
It would be like normal story wise. I would expect that to be like a really big problem. Like they better go in very prepared for big encounters and come in with strats.
Is it upright, or is it mostly like?
It is mostly this way.
Okay.
So, but encountering it on the table, they would be exploring. They'd probably be climbing a ridge side or something, or going up another, a mountainous pathway to get to higher ledges if they manage to get information from the right people to try and find these things. Because there are some folks that would know they exist, so that there's rumors and such, but not tons of people are going and fighting these things and coming back. And most of the folks that would run into them are going to be a group of folks called the Keepers of Sarcosia, and they kind of run the perimeter of this infection, as it were, and try to keep it back, burn it back. And a lot of them tend to get corrupted and turn into things. But so they'd be walking along, and it would probably be nice. You'd have the moonlight casting down on you, and you wouldn't hear anything really. You might hear like a breeze and some of like bare branches rustling if there's happens to be branches near you. And a very large feather would fall, and that would be your only sign, other than you might hear a chorus or cacophony of screaming before it just dive bombs onto one of your party members, or right in front of the lot of you.
And you said they lurk on cliff tops,
Because they
right?
fly pretty silently, and you don't. They're really hard to see when they do fly. They secrete a mucus that was supposed to help refract the light a certain way. So, like, at most, you might catch a gleam, even though they're fairly pale-colored. But they would be very pale-colored, kind of like just sickly, or, you know, flesh that has, you know, it's lost a lot of blood circulation. Like standard horror type creature where they're just pale and gross, and you might be able to see some veins here and there.
You mentioned that they were like on cliffs. I
skull-like countenance, but it's very large. The skull's larger than the average man's torso. That's about, yeah.
You mentioned that they
from the head to the knees of the average 5'10" man.
Hang on. You mentioned
just that thing's face.
You mentioned that these things might be on cliff tops.
No visible eyes, just sunken, fleshy eye pits.
Great there.
No lips, no. You get the nasal passage, but no fleshy nose structure. You have no like real external ear structure, just the little divots. And the digits, which there are still 5 of on each limb, the tips are a little bit hoof-like, so thinking maybe like kind of like prehistoric horses where they still had the 5 digits and they're just little hoof tips on the fingers.
You mentioned that these things dwell on cliffs.
And you've got your combination flesh and feather wings that still have digits extending, a little bit bat-like, but not fully. They are able to do some light grasping with the 2 shorter claws on their wings. Not super well, it's not articulated quite.
Am I not coming through anymore?
For proper grabbing, but they can do some.
We've lost her.
And kind of like a Wendigo, or there's another creature that's more accurate, because Wendigo only does a couple words, I think, but they will do the mimicry of people that they've killed in the past. Though, unlike Wendigo, they won't be restricted to the immediate last person they killed. They'll just be anybody. Because, you know, that's always just a good tactic when you're hunting people as a monster thing, to just call out. And it's not a singular creature. There are more of these, which is why I'm not putting them into the like unique or totally legendary category.
Right, like there's something that is spoken of in rumors and whispers, but they're not an individual. I mean, I guess each one is an individual. Also, welcome back, Crazy.
Sorry, I'm grabbing myself a physical piece of paper because we redid things a little bit. Oh, is that art jam to make them look a little bit
You're grabbing. Why are you doing a visible piece of paper?
more like a proper wing, sort of.
Cradler.
Friend helped me with that.
Hello? Darling, can you hear me?
I will probably start doodling. But they do like to be in high places so that they can take off easier. Their infants, naturally, I've decided would be called the Sarcosian cherubim, but I haven't designed like what their young state would look like, and a group of them is called a choir.
Cradler?
And they don't gather in groups very often. They're fairly solitary.
I think we might have. Oh, please. This is another technical issue.
I think eventually, if they kill and consume enough, we'll eventually turn into a Sarcosian seraphim. But I haven't designed that yet. And I can't actually tell if you're hearing me because I can't hear anything from you right now. I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh no.
Nope. Okay, as long as you've been hearing me, I've just been going, and then I was like, oh, it's very quiet.
Oh no, are you? Oh. Okay. So. Oh no.
I don't know why. I could pop out of the call and come back in, but then I ruin your screen share thing.
Hang on.
I think so.
What?
Let me see. But that's weird, I'm just not hearing anything.
What?
Okay, I found it.
Can you hear me?
I found it.
Cradler, what even was that?
Don't at me.
Okay, can you reopen the stream? Please. Oh
Okay.
Lord.
Oh,
This has been what a night. What an absolute night.
It's okay. I will. Where's the screen thing? Give me. Oh, there we go. Okay, I apologize.
It's okay. I kept trying to get your attention. I'm like, is she like she can't be hearing me. Because I was trying to ask, like, you mentioned them nesting on cliffs or something. I was thinking of maybe doing one at the top of a cliff or something. But like I wasn't sure.
On the top what?
On like the top of a cliff.
Yeah, they do like to make tops of cliffs like their resting points.
But I was also
not a lot of.
I was thinking this idea of like one is like
high places and plateaus because they can see things, and then it's much easier for them to take off. They don't have to flap as much.
Are they smart enough to like wait at the top to try and swipe at someone?
Yes.
Okay. This is very hard to draw.
I think the only time we used them in tabletop, we didn't have them properly statted.
So yeah, we will figure this out.
But we weren't battling them, thankfully. One was in a certain man's dungeon, or fungeon, as it were. We'll call it a fungeon.
Fungeon?
A fungeon. If we decide to do characters, we can do that guy at some point.
Oh no.
A being. But no, somebody decided, a certain OB2 skeleton boy decided he was going to pet the Sarcosian angel, and we had to decide if it was intelligent enough to make any kind of like diplomacy or any other kind of roles like that against, because he had failed animal handling. He had not won the animal handling.
That's
and
amazing.
We were debating about stuff, and we're like, well, there's some Wendigo-ish stuff going on, so what's a Wendigo's intelligence? Which is apparently at least 12, which is above average, so...
Yeah, Wendigos are pretty smart.
A decent amount of intelligence. But they do like to use their mass to just kind of smash into people.
Bully
They will
people.
headbutt, they bite, There probably is swiping, but it is a lot of like stomping and just
I have this idea.
dropping from the air at speed. And
this idea, and you can I don't know if you can take a look or not, but you could see it like the top of a cliff. It's just like it's waiting for someone to get near the top, and it's just like ready to like trying to grab someone or take their head off. I don't know if that's clear or not yet.
Moving. Okay, I can see now.
It's like, I don't know, like the other night I had this move that was like dropping down from like the sky.
Yeah.
Do that
is
one.
a very... Yeah, I mean, if you feel that...
It was either the cliff or the sky. Like, I could
that
do
is a
either way.
very... I mean, both of those would be very, very fitting to them.
Let's do the sky drop then. Let's do the sky drop. Do something here. So yeah, let's bat around some ideas for like the stat block for these things. It's like you're on PF1, right? This is all PF1 stuff, right?
Yeah, PF1 with spheres thrown in.
Yeah. Iravu, hello, and oh no. You know, I give up resisting it. What Iravu? Chicken butt?
I have another comeback, but I probably shouldn't say it.
I'm very scared.
No, it's fine.
Oh, Iravu, darling, I'm
Oh,
so sorry. That is where
That's a
I am
hassle.
at. That is
Yes.
awful.
Time to move to the desert, I guess. Because, like, you open the door anytime from spring to fall, and it's just gonna be death. Someone's gonna mow the grass. Because Roddy has that problem here. The second that
Oh, yeah.
when everyone cycles through the grass mowing, if it's nice out and we got the like door cracked, dies.
I'm so sorry. Iravu, I hope you feel better soon.
I hope
Hopefully
so.
you can sit here and chill, I hope.
I have heard if you can get medical grade cayenne and snort it, sometimes
You really need to be
that-
careful with that.
you do.
That
But I
is
know
like-
someone who did it, and it helped with their allergies for like nearly 2 years. Just that one time.
That's super dangerous.
But I do agree that is also like you probably gotta like be really bad to want to consider it.
That's like one of those you really better make sure that you don't mind possibly losing your sinus cavity situations.
It's gonna burn.
This is more capsaicin is like that's a poison across like most of the galaxy, right?
And here humans are adding it for flavor.
Crazy hell world hippies.
Right? It's like
Yeah.
the memes about how humans are like these crazy abominations in the universe and they don't even know it.
Oh yeah. No, you get like I'm here to confirm you definitely are, and I hope you do. I hope you don't rest in pieces, Iravu. I hope you rest in peace.
Hope you rest in comfy and not allergy death.
Yeah, that's way too big.
I'm trying to think of what kind of pose I want to do here. Oh, I guess I could probably send you the what we did to the wings last Saturday. If you need that.
Okay. Yeah.
We didn't change them a ton, but it's just slightly enough that it's probably fair if I'm just gonna quickly.
I don't know how to get the mirror function on this. I want to.
Oh gosh, where was that? I feel like I found it one time.
I'm just gonna look it up. But yeah, so like Pathfinder, like I don't know if like how big how bad are these things? Like okay,
so when we were doing the campaign where we had not started, let's say the one time I tried to do my own campaign, let's do that. One of the one of the characters, which I cannot recall the name of currently, but he did the backstory of he was previously a 20th level character that had died and been brought back, and so then he had to start from level 1 with some slight amnesia. But his 20th level character's backstory was that he was one of the keepers of Sarcosia, so he was one of the like few dudes that was actively like sent on like go find this thing. And his crew had been killed, and I don't think he had more than 3 other people, so I think it was like a party of 4. But
thank you, Ivano. I hope you do very well. And more than art, we are stat blocking this thing. I mean to have it properly set up by the end of tonight. As daunting a task as that sounds.
Think of what I want to do. I love drawing these things, but like I always like sit here and like, oh, but like I could do. I don't
know. So basically, a level 20 party got wiped by a Sarcosian Angel.
Level 20 party got wiped by Sarcosian Angel, which we didn't get into super detail, so it's entirely possible a second one showed up or a third one showed up. We didn't get that far into it, but I know a single one is supposed to be a challenge for probably that 17 to 20 range.
Yeah, okay. So like a single one. Let's say it's probably like a CR19 creature is what I'm thinking, right? Like it's not the worst thing possible, but it's a concern.
It's a concern, and it's, you know, it's not something you would want to escape from somebody's fungeon and get to town. It's not something you would want to escape from the wastelands and go to any of those towns. However, the nature of its being, some of them probably do leave the wastelands to go hunting outside of that and then come back. And the Keepers of Sarcosia probably can't do a whole ton about it.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of one of those where it's like the ones who are near the edge might peek out and might seriously try and like mess with humanity.
I think I've got some other, no, well, not if I've got, I know I have other Sarcosian angels. I can just pull up pictures. I can pull it for giggles.
Okay, so I'm thinking like let's aim for a CR like 18-19 creature.
Yeah, probably. I don't think what the probably don't want to use Sen as a gauge for anything because
I like the idea that they look a little bit like they have like eyes, like almost a little bit, but it's just like mounded up flesh in there. Like as soon as you
like
can actually see it.
here's a couple other doodles. Like here's another one, a little bit older, but there's one, and there's this one, which is the one we used for that one campaign when we ran into it in the dungeon.
Oh wow, I really like that. It's not quite the way I'd seen their head being a thing, but like, okay.
I got some others I can pull up for you too. Find them.
Okay, cool.
But that's one that has some form of color. The breath is a little miasmic, I guess. It's not necessarily, I don't think it was necessarily ever set up to be like a breath weapon or anything, but...
What is it? These are huge. These are huge.
Yeah, because here, like, they're not even, like, they could stand up a little bit taller. Like, this is just their
these are
idol.
Huge.
So, like, 14 feet here, and I don't remember what their wingspan is spread out. It's at probably close to 30 feet. 30-foot wingspan, because I think it has to be double the length of the body. Or the height or something.
I think it's blind sense and blind sight. I have to check. I get those two mix up pretty easily, but like definitely those. Let me see. But these sound like physical, like worryingly intelligent physical brutes. Is what they sound like to me.
Yeah, kinda in that way. This one. And then, oh yeah, because I had a couple other. Okay, it's all of them.
At you.
It was me.
Okay.
Like, this is another doodle of one.
Okay.
And then I got a couple mug shots.
Oh, nice. You're never gonna finish your thing at this rate, then.
It's fine. It's fine. There are a couple mug shots. But
okay.
I did have like some slight variations on a couple of them, but not a whole lot, but
yeah, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm using a mirror.
I go for it. It's you know what? It's not cheating. You're using a tool.
Yeah, we're using a tool.
You're using a tool.
Given this very...
Where's another one where I bet like next to somebody?
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one was next to somebody.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I think for this one to be like the as high level up as like you're wanting it to be. I'm thinking it, like, even though they're called angels, I'm thinking they're actually aberrations from everything's been described.
Yeah, they would definitely fall under aberration. They're just called angels.
Yeah, I think I like to these are very, very physically bulky, so we're gonna go with
well, it's also like the actual meaning of angel is just like messenger, so.
Oh, you know what'd be really creepy is if like right before they like it has before they killed you, they did something to you. Or like anytime they killed someone in the party or like downed someone, that would be or it could be a
give
side
you
effect.
An ominous message.
It could be a side effect of like the vapors, like if you breathe in those vapors and fail to save, like you start hearing them talk to you.
Oh my god, I love that idea so much.
Mm-hmm. I like, so are these things, like, these things are bruisers, right? Like, they don't have, like, super tough hide or anything like that, right? They're just bruisers. Kind of stealthy.
Kind of stealthy. They would be able to take a decent amount of damage, but I don't think it would be like in The Hobbit where you're trying to fight Smog and like nothing is going through it.
Right, so let's give them quite a high con. We're gonna give them D20s. And we're gonna, well, yeah, I'm gonna aim for like CR 18 to 20.
I would imagine like purification type stuff would probably do well against them because they are Abomination family.
Okay, so like I actually like the idea that they have weaknesses too, like a weakness to whatever the holy thing is.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nifty if we surprise them a little bit, and instead of having con be the highest one, we're gonna go with Dex. Dex, maybe strength, and then con.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them an int of 10. They don't sound purely like bestial.
Not purely bestial, but.
Oh, mushroom. Thank you for the hydrate. I wasn't gonna.
You weren't gonna hydrate?
No. How are you doing tonight, Mud? It's great to see you.
I should probably start drawing on my screen.
You definitely should.
I should. I've been bouncing around, giving you reps, and doing like lore stuff.
Yeah, which is awesome. Hang on, I'm gonna do something.
You can do.
Let me see if I can get this.
Do this. Okay. Do that.
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this for like.
With what?
Oh, there we go. Okay. And it's gonna Thank you. It's It is called a Sarcosian Angel. It is from Eden, which is Cradler's tabletop war.
Okay.
I'm
A
about
little
to do a
bit.
thing. Yeah. I'm gonna do a thing, hang on.
It's the thing you're gonna do. Should I worry?
Let
me use my pencil. It's okay.
Possibly.
I should possibly worry.
Possibly worry, yes. It's gonna give a little screen resolution, but I think it'll be worth it. Hang on.
Okay.
If you're able to see it, but now we have you can actually see as I'm statting things out. But thank you for coming to hang around with us, Mushroom. It's deeply appreciated. I hope you're doing well this evening, darling, and I'm glad you're enjoying the thing you're working on. Gonna get it like more human-like molar teeth in the back.
Like, I have a slight habit with doing the, like, mixing humanoid shape into monsters, which is probably has something to do with my deep love of Silent Hill.
Silent Hill is one of those games I always meant to play, but I haven't yet.
If you play it, I will be there with you.
Okay,
all the way through the fourth game.
I'll have to play it at some point. I have a PS2.
Yay! That's all you need. That's all you need to play any of them.
Yes. We're aiming for the CRs too. Its base initiative is gonna be really hot. We see. Yep. Get improved initiative. I think I'm not gonna die. Probably not gonna die. Hello, Clara. It's wonderful to see you tonight. How are you doing, darling? Oh, good. Good, I'm glad you're doing well. We are drawing and getting out a beastie known as the Sarcosian Angel.
Yeah. Which, for as little as I put out with all of the other stuff, a lot of people seem to enjoy the aesthetic of the Sarcosian Angel, so that makes me happy.
It's very fun.
Definitely Zan.
That's
unnerving. I like
but cool.
It is. Silent Hill's more enjoying like the story than like combat or anything like that. And a lot of love went into like the first 3 games, and then the 4 kind of drops off a little bit, but that's not actually the team's fault. That's more Konami's fault. But 4 is still pretty good, and the art in 4 is still really good.
Okay. Well, I know what the next Silent Hill game is. The next Silent Hill game is coming up, then it's Konami.
Yeah, it'll be another pachinko machine, probably.
Pull the lever. I said pull the lever.
Pull the lever! Okay, if I won the lottery, I would probably buy Silent Hill from Konami. And then get a really good team.
Yeah. Konami's making gobs of money. They're quite happy.
They are quite happy. Fans aren't. I don't like this going away. Bye.
So yeah, these things, I like the idea. You know, how like hypnotic or terrifying, I guess, were you hoping they would be?
Tabletop has stuff for like fear effect things, don't they?
Yeah. I just like, is it based on like, would you want them to have like a higher charisma, even though these things are terrifying?
Feel well, the charisma would go towards like intimidate stuff, wouldn't it?
Charisma also goes towards intimidate, yeah.
So I feel like they would have at least enough to have a reasonable intimidate effect.
Some monsters also use like
Or there's,
special
like,
effect
Yeah.
where it's like
I
where they,
feel like when they do their call, like their scream call, that you would want to have to like make a roll to not be shook, because I feel like that would be, in general, it would be kind of unnerving, but also I feel like there would be a presence with that.
yeah. Maybe even, I think, yeah.
Because like when they do their call, like when I say a cacophony of screams, I mean it sounds like, it doesn't sound like 10 or 15 screams. It sounds like 50 or so 100 people, whatever, screaming all at once.
Let's add
Like that's their scream. Like men, women, children, non-humans just scream. They make their call.
I like that the cacophony whale is like a high DC will save. I like the idea that maybe it's like one. Oh no, I made a mistake. Hang on. Didn't mean to close that down. Let me see. This is for PF1. This is for PF1, first edition Pathfinder.
PF1 with some splash spears thrown in here and there.
Yeah. Maybe it's high DC will save, and
I will warn you, Zan, I know nothing. Leaning totally on Velix for that, but
fear effect and maybe a
if you got ideas, Zan, I'm sure we don't mind the extra spitballing.
Yeah, like you guys, like anyone who's in this encounter, if they want to like try and like throw out ideas at the wall, I can't possibly use all of them. But like
I don't have a big tabletop brain. I'm mostly thinking just world setting lore wise. So any help with tabletop, I always appreciate, because I don't know.
Yeah. I like that the scream might actually be like a stagger, or possibly a stun if you fail. Or yeah.
Like I know there are like there's like an actual fear system thing that you can throw in. I just don't know it, and I don't know that I would have the brain cells to actually apply it.
Yeah, these are very large. They're huge aberrations that fly very silently that then like ambush people. They're quite intelligent. They may have at one point been people. It's not clear. Is this a drop everything and run reaction or a huddle helplessly fear reaction that you imagined?
I feel like that would. I don't know tabletop terms, but story-wise, I feel like that would depend on the individual character.
So it probably would be like a
And the only tabletop thing, again, my brain's going to go back to that other fear mechanic thing that I don't remember what system in Pathfinder that's a part of, because it's part of something. I don't remember what.
I'm thinking,
and I know that that one does have like a stage, like if you fail bad enough, like you cannot move at all.
Yeah, I think this is like, it's the fear effect where if you save well enough, you run. If you fail by too much or crit fail, you out in place. Yeah, I don't think there should be a I think there needs to be like a penalty on success for this, especially given that that they're going to have a they're going to have like a what's the term I'm looking for? That miasmatic breath.
Oh yeah, the slightly miasmatic breath. Like I said, at the time, we didn't like worry about it being much of a thing, but that could also potentially be a thing.
I've never done like human skulls as much before. Hopefully this is coming out okay.
It's okay. So, it's just like it's human based, but it's slightly not the actual, because warped a bit. So if it's not spot on, you're fine.
I think this is coming out okay. Perhaps a non-savable aura of shaken. Yeah, I like the shaken aura. These are like incredibly intimidating. These are like the end stage of like basically a corruption taking over a landscape. There's an entire order dedicated to trying to fight the corruption, and they lose people to these all the time, from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, Craigler.
Yeah, so it's a creeping type of corruption over the landscape, and it changes the landscape and the things that are in it. I would imagine occasionally you might run into something where somebody's like melted into a tree, kind of like the guy in I think it was a pool in Annihilation, where he just kind of like fungused into the wall.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah.
Annihilation is such a beautiful movie. Anyone who hasn't seen that, I recommend it, but you need to watch it like at high noon with the lights on.
I'm gonna watch it in the dark just for you.
I mean, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, for people that are not living on spook and unsettling, and probably watch it in the daytime. But it is very as unsettling as like a lot of the content in it is. It's just very gorgeous. It's very colorful. It's a lot of love was put into that.
Yeah, like everything that can see it is I'm doing everything that can see it is shaken unless they have like a really low enter wisdom from that Zamlar. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a fly of like, are these like, these are fast flyers, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, let's do a fly of like 80.
They can fly pretty quick.
Yeah, fly of 80, land speed of 50. Make a wisdom of
Doing its job, right?
16 and charisma 20. It's not a good will save on them. See, shaken, -2 to know things, normal actions, frightened, and panicked flee, randomly cower if cornered and cowering. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, Zamlar. It's very, very helpful. So the other thing is like, I think what I was talking about liquid, anytime it downs something, anything that like witnesses it, is probably gonna have to like make a will save, and if it fails, it starts feeling like it's being talked to.
Yeah, that if they inhale too much of that stuff, they're gonna start being receptive to, or perceiving that they're receptive to communication, I guess, would be either way open to interpretation.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out exactly how to stat them. I mean, this breath, like, it poisons you, right? The breath, I mean.
Yeah, it would. I would imagine it would at least cause like at least some illness, just kind of being a bit noxious. Maybe noxious isn't the right word, but definitely not like a pleasant breath. I'm trying to remember if noxious is noxious more like.
Noxious is like super unpleasant and like maybe a little toxic, I think.
Okay, so maybe that is the right word. Slightly noxious then. Alright.
Yeah, so I like the idea that yeah, maybe that's a maybe that's a strength, and noxious is not gonna hurt you usually, but it's not a place you want to be in.
Yeah.
Maybe it causes sickening, and if you really fail, it causes nauseating and makes it harder for you to avoid hearing the angel's voice.
I could float with that. Actually, I don't need beer. Maybe I can.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and they have that weird goop
Yeah.
Um,
All this fun stuff that's
transparent goop, which means that
ending on them.
um,
Which I guess kind of sort.
is this like long lasting or is this like very temporary?
They kind of just goop. I would imagine they goop less when they're not flying around, because the other purpose the goop serves is so that they don't get too dry when they're flying high altitude.
And so it's
So that's one purpose. I would imagine it's also to help like with the feathers, because the way the rings are, those feathers are going to chafe against each other, which probably contributes to they constantly lose feathers, which is one of the reasons why that's the only sign most of the time that you're being stalked by one, is the feather's going to fall at some point. So that would be like one of your signs if you're going looking for these, is trying to find these feathers. But yeah, the goop.
It actually does. It is overlapping it really well. Zelmar just said that your RAR is overlapping the image. It makes it look like the thing is saying it.
I might be bad and do like a cute one, because I have done at least one cute one.
How do you feel about the idea of like the first time? Because you said there was like a whole fire purging, big corruption element involved. Like every time they reapply the goop, like just or when they go without the goop for too long, like they become weak to fire. Like in either direction. I don't know if you want to make them like that or not, so like you can let me know.
I feel like being too dried out, they could be weak to fire.
This is possibly like the least kosher thing that I feel like I've ever tried. And I've shown some very non-say-so things.
I don't even remember what say-so is anymore.
It's like wholesome.
Wholesome? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I could try to do a wholesome. But yeah, let me do.
Okay. Yeah, make it, So what I've done is I've given it so that like it can refresh its goop like on like a sort of like a in breath thing. That's the 1d6 rounds, and that's like how long it lasts, and so it has to refresh it in combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't take an action to refresh it, it becomes vulnerable to fire damage, or rather, it has vulnerable to fire damage, and when it uses the goop, it is protected for that many rounds. Also gives it bonuses to stealth. I'm gonna make it double while airborne. The thing is, these things are basically like almost unseeable airborne.
Yeah. The The one campaign that I did, which I did a hard start, I don't know what I was doing, and I was just sandboxing most of it, but I had one.
They are aberrations, not undead.
Yeah,
They have like skin barely stretched over like this deformed skull, from my understanding.
the face, the skin is pretty tied up on the bones, and then the rest is meaty, but they are not actually classified as undead. They're definitely more along the lines of an abomination, an aberration. But yeah, was it the one campaign start that I did with? I did use one in the campaign start. That's not what I should throw.
I think their biology is technically functional. I think is the word I'd probably use there, from my understanding.
Yeah, they will still eat and drink and whatnot, and they will rest. And they're not like, they will group together sometimes, but they are not specifically like a pack or flock type creature. Which a lot of that would be they're big enough if they decide to, like, they want to eat something. A lot of currently, I don't have a lot of other things in the Sarcosian Wastelands that are quite their size, so I would imagine if they banded together a lot all the time, they would probably end up fighting each other too much for food.
So it's definitely a process of it's definitely a natural like miscreation. Like it's some sort of aberration. Like the eyes are these things are born of like there's an area of the world that's succumbing to this kind of corruption, and they're born of long exposure to that corruption.
And some things may have just like pulled in from another plane. That part hasn't been like, I haven't totally cemented the actual start of the corruption, but it definitely, anything native definitely gets mutated if they're exposed for too long without any kind of intervention.
Like they have an incredible keen sense of smell if a hunter. Yeah, they currently have blind sight and blind sense. They should definitely have scent too. Let's see. Diplomacy, intimidate, lie, acrobatic. Let's see, these are, do they strike in the day or use tactics? I think they're kind of like whenever people, in terms of tactics, they are clever. They're not unintelligent. Like that 10 int, 16 wisdom, that is like accurate to them, I think.
Yeah, a 10's probably pretty good.
Because they're not quite as smart as like a Wendigo, right?
Yeah, I think the Wendigos was set at like 12, which for the one scenario is what we used because we hadn't statted them yet, but I think 10's fine. Because they're not... I mean, 10's still good enough, like, if they would still be able to make, like, some hunting strategies, but...
an average human, and like, we did great hunting strategies, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Our species did.
Yeah.
Like, all sapient life that started as hunters, like, does great hunting strategies compared to all, like, non-sapient life, basically, right? We started as hunters, you started as hunters, it's kind of the way it goes. Most apex life forms are some kind of hunters because that's what tends to need it. I don't know if that's like a good blind sight. Okay, that's my one. I'm always confused by blind sight and blind sense. Yeah, I like those 200 and 120. Doesn't it be utterly blind in a 200 feet sphere around them? I think that's okay. What do you think, Craigler?
Probably, because then, I mean, they're not gonna be totally deaf.
No, they've got a keen of smell.
They've got ears, they've got a snout, so I don't think that would actually totally hinder them.
Craigler, I don't know if you looked at mine a little bit, but hopefully I'm capturing like the spirit of this thing here. I'm very uncertain about this.
I like it. It's like coming right at us.
Yeah, the idea was like you look up and this is just dropping on you.
That's kind of how it would go, though. Like if somebody, like somebody. Okay, lore-wise, there is some Yahoo out there like that's trying to like create a bestiary of the things that are there. So he's exploring. He's like the one idiot who's just out there exploring, trying to document things and not die. But like, yeah, the average group that's going around, they run into these things. Like that's the last thing they're gonna see.
Yeah. Not deaf, just blind. If I goes animal. Yeah.
I turn back to the pencil.
Yes, these are probably neutral, I think.
Oh, what, like alignment-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, currently, because like I don't really have like a big, like they're just kind of are. They're just doing their things. Like even if they do like ominous message stuff to people, like I don't think there's like they're not hive minding to like be super nefarious or anything. Like they are.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean like the rest of the inhabitants of the world aren't going to perceive them as being these horrible evil things. But
yeah, no, definitely right. I need to be
they're
right
not
back.
mustache twirling.
I need to be right back briefly because someone tried to hydrate me. I'll be right back, but Zemlar, if you can read the chat, Zemlar says thank you.
I have the chat up on the phony right now, so I can talk to Zemlar. He fix it. How you doing, Zemlar? How you doing? Might take too long to do anything. Let's see. Are you enjoying this Sandlar so far? Our shenanigans? At least. I love them though. They're so fun. They're fun babies. Hey, Chaotic Buns. Thank you for the lurk on Velix's behalf. Those are very cute emojis, so I have to verbally send a head pat to Chaotic Buns. Very slow, my breathing. So, like, the eye sockets, like, I did toy with the idea with, like, oh, maybe there's eyes way, way back in there, but that's so deep in the skull cavity, I feel like it would be so weird to try to squeeze eyeballs behind the fleshy bits. And they would be so small for their skull. So I kind of like that that's just a divot. And like 1010 would allow you to try to stick googly eyes on the eye sockets. It would be very tiny on these eye sockets though. You'd need the mega googly eyes. Okay, I've screwed this job up. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. I need to rotate this just a smidge. Where's my rotate? Okay, just a smidge. Yeah. There. Boop. I think most of my things are on a gradient between evolution and magically inclined. There's a lot of so like even without the Sarcosian wasteland corruption thing with the aberrations, like there's a lot in this setting that would probably be able to fall under like the generic term chimera. Because I just kind of like, I'm just gonna mush some things together and have a thing. Like, what's it? There's a gazelle with the scorpion tails one, which I can't remember what that one was gonna get called. And there's like a koala bear land sloth thing. And yeah, they will actually produce earlier in the when we started the babies are called cherubim, and then eventually if these things kill and eat enough, they have the potential to turn into a Sarcosian seraphim, which I have designed neither of these, but and a group of them is called acquire because I had to. But who knows? Maybe they reproduce like Namekians and just barf up more babies. Drop faster than this, I don't care why I'm feeling so slow today. Oh. Huh? So there is some vegetative stuff, but there is a lot of just like dead forests and kind of barren. There are areas where there's like trees that do have a type of foliage or shrubbery type stuff. But yeah, a lot of like I guess kind of like Upside Down or Shadowlands and Lion King, kind of very drab and not healthy. Probably trees that bleed. A little bit variable. There's definitely hilly plains-ish type land with scattered whatever used to be there that is corrupted, but there's definitely hills and cliffs and mountainous terrain because these things like to be up high, so they don't have to always work so hard to take. Like, they can probably get a pretty good jump, and I imagine they get some decent lift flapping fine, but they prefer to take off from a high ledge. Saves them a bit of energy. And obviously then they can also like hear for quite a distance, smell things that are coming from a ways off. The hills are big enough. Yeah, it's probably more like, if there's a between the hills, it's probably more like a ravine has opened and they happen to have tucked into it. Definitely cliffs if people are trying to climb up and down, which people do if a team goes and they're like, we're gonna go find these things, we're gonna go try to do something about it or try to document them in some way so somebody else can do something about it, and they go climbing and doesn't go so well for them. Where's the size chart one? So I don't think you saw the size chart. So this top line, and top line up here, it's 14 feet. And then that's I believe a 5'10" person. Yeah. So like you're going around and you're in this horrible wasteland, and you're either some adventurers that got too big for their britches or trying to document stuff or whatever, and you've heard stories about this thing and it's mostly quiet. You might have a breeze. No. No, it's not. We're aiming for like the players to be 17 to 20 if they actually intend to win.
Yeah, I've been trying to aim for around 19, I want to say, with based on descriptions.
I want to like terrify people. I think I didn't build them, but the biggest baddie that I had at the time, which Roddy built, I think I can't remember, I think his CR ended up being like 46.
That's so very absurd, yeah.
Granted, the party we were using against him at the time were all
Improved crit range for bite.
I think everybody was level
Oh my goodness.
14 or 15 with Mythic.
Chaotic Buns. Thank you so much for joining in and for lurking. I really appreciate it.
What kind of buns?
They're awesome. I mean, I had been away whatever that happened, but thank you.
Yeah, they came in while you went to party.
I had an awful time, but I'm okay now. Let's see.
Yeah, they're a decent size. So yeah, Zan, the angels are pretty much the apex predator for the wastelands, which is not like, you know, we're we could have done something that was more common, that's like your equivalent to like your slime or bouncy mushroom that shows up in your beginner area. We didn't do that.
I think Dragon Cell attacks might not be a bad idea. I was thinking of like 39 seems to be a pretty like around range of like a proper like bite kind of thing, or like a
so
attack.
I don't.
Acquire. Okay,
body
hang
it's
on.
A wing.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can sort this. How's that? That should be better, I think.
They do a lot of like dive bomb and like stomping and biting and headbutting and a lot of, aside from the biting, a lot of blunt force. I guess there could be a claw attack with their wings if they really needed to.
Natural attack. I think that's
once they actually initiate, I feel like they would actually just go in there. Unless they had a reason to back off.
Yeah, so 2d6. 68 there. Primary. 2 just attack. Oops, let's see. Are they cautious fighters that measure up opponents before going into the kill, or wait unless overwhelmed a moment?
I would say if they're doing any measuring up, it's while they are stalking them, like circling around in the air. So if they were something that was too iffy, then they would probably just continue to wait instead of attacking. So I feel like once they attack, they're going to be relatively dedicated to continuing just full-on attack. They're not like the Keepers of Sarcosia want to go in there and take care of them and such, but like I was telling Vel, the one character that we did for the one session that I did, he had a team of level 20s and they all died. So these things canonically don't have, like, they've got weaknesses. We've been to try to establish some weaknesses as we're going.
Yeah.
Like if they're too dry, they're weak to fire, or they're probably to like purification type things because they're aberrations.
I actually gave them DR, like, and I don't like the idea of like good, evil very much like the way it's often done, but I gave them a damage reduction that was pierced by DR.
Yeah.
Or so pierced by good.
Yeah, I kind of like that, Sam.
Would be dive on land and whatever they view as me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they would kind of go for there.
I actually have seen, half the time the impact of the strike kills their prey, so I feel like they need to have, like, is that an attack, like a swoop? Or a dive bomb?
Yeah, it'd probably be more like a dive bomb. I feel like a swoop mentally to me seems more like a smash and grab and then bail with it kind of thing. Which I don't feel like they would have reason to do very often.
I can just find a special attack here. Let's see. So yeah, a dive bomb attack, that needs to be like, that its bite are gonna be like super big ones, so I'm thinking like, I like the idea that this kind of does like great axe damage. It's like a certain number of D12s.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, would you rather be more consistent, or rather this be one of the ones that's like, I don't know, like it can do a lot of damage or maybe less damage, like depending on how it goes. What do you think, Cradler? Would you rather be more or less consistent?
I guess what tabletop term wise, I guess what defines the difference there?
Less consistent is usually larger dice with more potential damage, but that are a lot more random in terms of like what they actually roll. More consistent is like usually smaller dice, but more of them. So the average is better, but you usually have a less good damage cap. Xandlar also gave a good example where you have like 1d12 plus 30 or like 5d12 plus 2, where like 1d12 plus 30 is way more consistent. Xandlar says if you want to be scary, more swingy dice work better, because those can sometimes just be like kaboom, basically. But also sometimes it can not do a lot, so it's very a lot of people who play like tabletop games, like a lot of players get very freaked out when you have very swingy dice. They also make critical hits do. Yes, they do. And this thing has improved critical.
Oh.
So like it means that like rather than its crit being like 2d12 plus 30, it could be like 10d12 plus 2. Because no one does.
Just no one.
The swingy dice.
I kind of like. Obviously, I'm an evil person, so I kind of enjoy the like anxiety-inducing.
Yeah. So let's say like this like slam attack. When the monster bites your friend for 6 damage and you for 32, it scares people.
Well, I was like, oh yeah, it's just a nip. Oh no, half my friend's gone.
It wasn't a very good bite, clearly.
Which I feel like kind of also works story-wise. They can't see super well because
Yeah.
they kind of have no reliability.
Let's do 5d12. Let me take on 5d12 plus like
Where I mean, I can probably.
it's probably about like plus 10. You okay, Trader?
Yeah, I just need to get the charger for my phone.
Okay.
It has dropped 14%, so death for it is nigh. I mean, I could see if the computer will let me pull up Twitch on the computer, but
Don't do it if you're afraid.
yeah. So I'm gonna grab the charger phone
Okay.
and probably
Wow,
also
that's a
take the
neck on yours. I don't think I got my neck on that.
Well, because okay, so like this is the very first drawing no, actually I think this is the second drawing I ever did.
I was trying to like suggest more neck bulk, but I might have to go back and add that.
But like if I
it'd be based on strength mod. Yeah, which is its strength mod is 10, so that seems right.
There, now you can just see them better.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did end up getting a more muscle bulk, even though that's not necessarily conducive to flying, but it is conducive to drop damage.
Yeah.
Just them being kind of like if it was Monster Hunter, I feel like they'd be a brute wyvern just because they hit hard.
I almost feel like it's just like dropping them, just like headbutting whatever's underneath it.
Yeah, like just headbutting or stomping whatever's underneath it. They're just boom. The down B smash on Smash Bros.
Yeah.
You jumping down B.
That has no meaning to me, but I take your word for it.
So, I don't think it's all. Maybe it was on all the characters. I don't know. You jump in the air and then you're over the other player and you hit like down B and you just like did a power drop on top of them. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the charger for this and probably empty some of the hydration.
Yeah, people have got to stop hydrating us.
We need to raise in a little bit.
I don't feel like I can raise it anymore. It's already at 500.
I'll be right back.
Yep, yeah. Continue to work on unhydrate. Yes, exactly. Unhydrate. Yeah, I'm trying to get mine to be like more like bulky and things like that, like it should be. But it's a difficult process. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking like very big smash rock kind of vibe going on here. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can't. Yeah, there's trample. Let's just lock that in there. Yeah, this is basically like it's like a roaming mini boss, right? Like, there's nothing like this. Like, a couple of these things might be a party wipe, is like where we're at. Like, this is something that you ideally want to prepare for if you're just taking on like one of the. I mean, humanity, like, people would probably think it's like malicious, but it's not actually malicious. It's just like it's just a hunter. It's not like actively being evil. It hunts everything, and it considers like sapient life forms part of its prey and diet. So it's just awful. Um, I don't know that you can call it evil accurately. That's like up to people. But yeah, like I imagine you could probably like poke it into like trying to like grab you, like if you really annoyed it, right? The way you can like physically annoy or injure some animals into attacking you back. But like I don't think that like it just does. I don't think it just be doing the hunt from everything I understand. I'll run the idea by Cradler as soon as she gets back. But like it's not like a yeah, like it might do that thing that I can't remember what it's called. Is where it's like hunters will not stop hunting prey until they are sure that all prey in the area is dead. At which point they'll go back and try and like eat as much of it as they can and like stash some of it for later. Like I could easily see that being the case here. Um, it rarely happens, but sometimes predatory animals like will do that, and it's been it's a case of like when they haven't had food for a long time, and they see like a huge like abundance of food, they'll be like, okay, let me try and like gorge myself and then cache as much of this as I can really quick or something like that. Like I'm not 100% sure how it works because I'm not a biologist. But they have this weird kind of like behavior where they'll try and do something like that. Those are hoof nails, yes. It doesn't have claws, it has like hooves. Oh, like each finger is like a hoof. I mean, you're not supposed to like them. I will let Cradler know as soon as she returns. I'm sure she would be delighted to know that you really despise them. I'm not being sarcastic either. Like these things are meant to be like super unsettling, and I feel like they're definitely working that way. Um, that's actually an excellent one. An excellent comment.
Okay, back.
Welcome back. Yeah,
Sorry.
Cradler. Zemlar hates the hoof nails. I thought you would appreciate that. They hate the hoof nails.
Oh, the hoof nails?
Yes.
I'm trying to. No, now I'm trying to remember if I've done drawn the undersides of the thingies or not. It's free. I mean, you can interpret them however you want, but I don't remember if I've drawn the underside of there.
Yeah, I was trying to do them just like very like Each one was a tiny leg with a hoof on it. Well then, oh god, why? I mean, they're just very unsettling creatures.
Oh, I guess it's not that. Do I have?
Also, Cradler, Xanalar wanted to confirm, like, part of it could be avoided if you just, like, ran after it took out and killed a party member, basically. Like, they're not gonna follow you down, are they?
They probably would.
Okay, probably would.
It probably would pursue you.
Why? What makes them want you to pursue you? What makes them want you dead?
You are a thing encroaching its territory. You are not an aberration.
They're very territorial to things that are not aberrant individuals.
They very much can be. I'm not gonna
hungry
say,
and
like,
territorial.
They're hungry and territorial. Plus, it's like the size of the average biped. Like, where's the thing again? The size of the average biped next to one of these. Like, it probably take at least three of you to get the belly feelings closer to full.
Yeah. Okay. So the problem is that it's trying to do that thing where it's like, I have a group of prey. Let me knock, and then eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's like another thing, like with the whole, like, it tries to do one-hit KOs when it's hunting, because like if there's a group and he can just, then even if he doesn't hit all of them, the others are gonna hopefully be stunned, and the one that he lands on, it's gonna hopefully be like actually dead, and he can just go after the other ones. And then have the Melios. But also, like, because there are the Keepers of Sarcosia trying to go in there and stuff, I'm pretty sure they've learned
not like humanoids.
To not like humanoids.
They're against these keepers basically because they are anti-corruption.
They have been aggroed.
They're anti-corruption.
So they will aggro back. They would know aggro back.
Okay.
But the way I tend to do things is, like, I wouldn't totally rule out being able to get sort of on amenable terms with one. If you did it the right way, I would just say the odds of getting the chance to is very, very low. Just not zero.
Yeah. Your odds of meeting an amorous crab are a non-zero. They're very low, but non-zero.
But not zero. I like going with that because I don't like having the absolutely no, never gonna be able to whatever for a lot of things, but you know.
Monster appears, a Sarcosian angel appears, cast hero's feats in front of it, and then back off. So that's Xanalar's suggestion for dealing with it. Might actually work. That might work out.
Maybe. Be like feeding Godzilla in the 90s Godzilla, but maybe don't try to blow it up while it's eating. And you might be able to.
Yeah, maybe just take the opportunity to back away.
Yeah. Alright, I need to track this down.
There's something very different here.
And then
I'm getting it like sort of lips, but they're very like they're like flesh folds, right? Like where it like wraps around the teeth. Like not proper lips, so that makes sense.
if you want to add lips, go for it. The ones that I've drawn so far, I just didn't even.
But I'm trying not to add like actual lips. I'm trying to add like whether cats or dogs have lips, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's true, Zan, but I mean, like, they're oozing a lot, so.
I think it just, like, oozes gel on them. Like, you can't, even the way I've done it, you can't, like, close the lips.
Yeah, no, the teeth are always exposed, so I would imagine the teeth might actually be a little bit more tusk-like in that essence, whatever.
Gotcha.
Because when they're not oozing, they would need to not have them decay. But I would imagine the secretion of the mucus-like stuff would also assist in not having them decay.
The poison the tabby bacteria with natural toxins, problem solved.
Because, like, look at this, Zan. Look at this. It's just, it's moist. It's a little moist.
I am not okay with that, and I am okay with that. Oh my goodness, okay. I don't know why, like, I'm doing, like, all these little lines and shading, like, with, like, this freaking pencil. It's so gross. It's very gross.
A little bit something. But, you know, that doesn't stop this one here from trying to pet it.
Are they an OB2?
Yeah, that was MG's OB2. MG's OB2 in Automized Fungin.
Oh, Mr. MG was the OB2?
He was the OB2.
Oh,
he was,
wow, okay.
OB2 named Epitaph. And he was in Automized Fungin, and Automized like, want to meet some pets? And then he was left alone in there, and he's like, I'm gonna pet it.
Yeah,
and then he rolled 1 on animal handling.
I don't know what else to do with this. Like, I literally don't know what else to do with this image. I need to, like, I might need to come back to it. But meantime, I can figure out the blocks. We have a block going here. We have a block going here. Let's see. The natural is like 36 is about where you want it to be. Oh, I need to go to natural. Okay. Yeah, 0 armor to 30 for natural. Like, it's kind of pretty well. That is a 42 dex, you see, yes. Before you came on, me and Craig were talking about it, we wanted them to be, like frighteningly nimble. Like, wanted them to be really disturbingly nimble, based on all of her descriptions of them.
Like, even though they have little bulk, they gotta be mobile.
It is a huge, yes. I believe that's the 3x3, yes. I think they're gonna be immune to. I think they're immune to, like, negative energy damage. Like, they can't heal from it or anything, but I like the idea that it just, like, washes off. Fitting in with, like, because in most games it's associated with, like, undeath and corruption and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I might. Yeah, the dex is a touch AC of 24. I don't know why its AC up here is 54. That's higher than I wanted it to be. Not sure why it's a 54 AC up here. I'll have to figure that out. That might be from the dex. Let me see. That is from the dex. We have to lower that natural armor. Yeah, let's take the natural armor down to like a let's try and do like a 5. 5. Yeah, I think a 5 natural armor is probably pretty good. That gives it an AC of 29 with its bulk and with a DR of 10. That's probably pretty solid to take on most things because it's got about an average about 400 hit points currently.
Decent amount of hit points.
Yeah. Huge is -2 AC, I believe, yes. Penetrated by good. It's 0 penetrated by good. The idea behind these things is they weren't necessarily super tough to take down if you had prepared well, and if you were like found them. They were just awful if they found you. If I remember correctly from what you described, Cradler.
Yeah, definitely something you'd want to actually be prepared to go fight. You would probably have a little bit of an upper hand. I actually found them like at rest or something, but they'd still be not fun, but definitely way worse if they find you, because they would get that drop on you, as it were.
Yeah, it's like a basil goose, right?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I hate basil goose. I hate that bomber plane so much. Just minding my own business, trying to harass a murder pickle, and all of a sudden there's a basil goose.
Everyone hates basil goose, yeah. Yeah, 29 AC is hittable even by multi-weapon classes, but not easily. Yeah. Yeah, and then suddenly explosions, yes. Like the whole thing is just like, because fighting a basil goose isn't awful if you get one when it's on the ground.
Once it starts bomber planing you, though, it's just.
The thing is, if you're ready for it, if you go back to hunt a basil goose and you sneak up to its nest and it's like asleep there.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's okay. I feel like the Sarcosian angels are like a lot like that, where it's like
probably actually, yeah. Like if you manage to like find wherever it's nesting down, or like even if you're just like waiting for it, because at that point it's not expecting anything.
I like that sense. I love how the music for it doesn't start until after the first volley. It does not. It does not. It does not. Today
is my day of decision on everything.
Okay. but yeah, I think that's like the so yeah, I think they shouldn't necessarily be so hard to hit.
They're pretty big, so it usually makes things easier to hit, doesn't it? Like they are.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Tarrasque in like some old edition where you had to roll a 1 to hit it.
What?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like a old edition Tarrasque, you had to roll a 1 to hit it. I feel like I read that somewhere.
Rather the actual fuck. You may be thinking of Nilbogs. Wow, we have a veteran over here. Which are just mean.
I don't know. I just remember it from like some video about Tarrasques.
So this is like making like, you see what I mean? Like if you see like the stream, Cradler, do you see what I mean more like about like the lips? It's more like I want there to be like a ridge of skin. So it like felt
just
more...
a little bit so that they can make some kind of lip curl expression.
Right. Oh, it also said it felt like it felt like its face was more like almost like vacuum sealed to the skull, and there was like a little like just lip left over.
I mean, that can be fun.
Yeah, like I wanted it to be very like something happened to this boy, and it's not a good thing.
And like, I've got the generic look that I've been drawing, which, to be fair, mostly I've been drawing a very specific one that we named Barbara, but
it's amazing.
But in general, like there would be some variation to the structure of their faces.
Yeah.
And I think I had another one where I made them even bulkier through the neck muscles and stuff.
Oh,
and gave them a much sharper angled forehead.
I added some more like neck bulk to try and like reference like bulk it up some more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Speaking of like stuff. Look, I feel the big question is like, how bad are these things to try to interact with magically speaking?
Try to what?
Like, if you throw a spell at these, are you guaranteed it's gonna like work? Like, do I need to give them some spell resistance?
Maybe some light spell resistance.
Yeah, which is every caster's favorite thing.
I wouldn't be like no spells work on these. It's not that big of a dick, but
it doesn't have a great will save, right? We want to give it like the ability to just like shrug off magic to a certain extent. Spell resistance might be like a good way to go.
That's the original Tarrasque. He's so tiny.
What? That's so much smaller than I thought.
I'm just amused with these legs. They're like, no, stop it, spit it out. Bad Tarrasque.
It really does seem like that, yeah.
If you're catching your dog
like
eating
a good
something.
amount. To me, it does seem like a very solid amount. Yeah, it's negative energy immune, which is that is the our world Tarrasque. what the name came from. That's amazing. I want to make Tarrasques that, like, in a D&D game now. Where there's, like, fucking, like, cave dragon dogs.
Yes.
Try to give him, like, the super deep chest, that, like, in all of them. Like, very powerful build. Let me see. Yeah, no shield, no deflection. Melee it's got like a very potent bite.
Yeah.
Apparently Sepulchre said Tarrasque, and they all varied some. Yeah, it's very fast. It's got a land speed of 50, fly speed of 80. Perfect maneuverability, which seems to make sense. Attack, edit. Like, how vicious do you want the bite? Like, let's say compared to the dive bomb, how bad is the bite?
I would feel like kind of feel like the dive bomb would be like the really big, scary.
Okay.
Really big, scary thing, but the bite would probably also not be fun just because they are huge and they probably have a decent bite force.
Yeah, currently the bite is at 48 plus 10. The hooves are at 2d8 plus 5, and the wing bashes are at 1d8 plus 5. Which I think sounds about right.
Probably. What do you think, Sam?
Bite is 48 plus 10. Hooves are 2d8 plus 5. Or, I mean, like, claws, but they're hooves. And
they got a wing
claws. Bash is 1d8 plus 5. With the dive bomb being 5d12 plus 10. Look, its big thing is it's gonna try and, like, dive bomb you. The claws are natural secondaries. Yes. Dive bomb is 5d8 plus 10. And it requires a fortitude save not to be knocked prone. Uh, 48 was bite. Claws are 2d8. Hopefully this still reads the Sarcosian Angel to you, Cradler. That's my big goal here.
as long as you're having fun doing your interpretation of them.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like this is just such an insane like concept. Need to like work with. Uh, 20 crit for the claws, 19 to 20 for the bite. I think so. The bite has improved critical. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, they do technically. I've added in some improved critical, improved initiative, keen scent, and trample. I'm not sure like what else to add to them yet, but weapon focus, claws, and bite. Ooh. Um. It's base attack bonus. I can't. It is 39. Is its base attack bonus? That's actually relatively standard for a melee focused creature at like level 19 or 20 for Pathfinder 1. At least as far as I can tell. But yeah, like, could lower, yeah, like, between 30 and 40 is about the usual range. Could lower it down a little bit, I suppose. Make it, like, do it like a 36? It's gonna be a bit of a striker. I like how you're doing, like, this wonderful Stanley picture and, I have done, like, I don't even know what this is.
You're doing the cool, edgy thing, and again,
like, I feel like this is like someone's like PTSD drawing of having seen one at one point.
One person survived, and they're like,
yeah,
asking the local sketch artist to be like, "This is what I saw."
Gonna make it very swiftly. Oh shit. Just... So a sketch versus a college sketch at a distance with a telescope. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely like what's going on here.
There is the one ecologist guy that if I ever get around to doing a thing in the Sarcosian Waste, someone might be able to find running around like a wild man.
That's amazing. I want them to have like this very sort of like, but to, yeah. Nigel Thornberry? Who's Nigel Thornberry?
Oh my god, no!
What?
Smashing!
What?
Okay, Zan, you need to throw in the like server a link of like just Nigel Thornberry supercut for Vel. He's a cartoon character from like the what like 2000s on Nickelodeon, the Wild
I had
Thornberries.
tons
He's
of cartoons.
voiced by Tim Curry.
Oh, I need to see this. I love Tim Curry. But no,
I love Tim
I
Curry.
watched tons of cartoons. I had to be like spoon-fed your culture for decades. Like I watched tons of them, like Underdog and George of the Jungle and Johnny Quest.
Oh my god, Johnny.
Right? Like no, I just had tons of cartoons. There's a tag that I started to consider using called V Boomer. Like I legit looked at this. I'm like, do I use this tag?
It's not for Yuzu.
What?
Wouldn't that be for Yuzu because he's the boomer?
You realize I'm older than Yuzu, right?
I don't know. Remember what his age is? He's probably my age or younger.
I'd almost I I don't even know. Like I'm not quite the age of your boomers down there. I've been like, do I actually use this?
I think he just calls himself that because he has like the boomer energy of like not knowing how things work.
And here I thought I had boomer energy. It's very sort of sickly pallid color.
Sickly pallid colors. Their feathers are gnarly. Like these would probably fit in really nicely with like was it the Souls or Bloodborne type games just because they're very like gross and tattered and dead looking.
I just wanted to play those. I never did. I always wanted to.
At some point you probably could.
You just posted an old man to get away with shit. You're gonna have to tell. You have to tell him that sometime. Sam. This could absolutely fit in the Souls game. I like that idea.
Especially with like just the feathers always molting. They do a lot of like tattered, feathery things.
That would be amazing. The thing is, when you started describing it, I had this like idea. Like I wanted to draw it like doing a thing. Like yours is doing a thing too, Craig. Like let me be clear, right? Like I really wanted to draw it very dynamic. I've been trying to push like my ability to make poses and things a lot lately.
It's like I want to do a more dynamic thing with these guys. I like have a few ideas in my head which are also like them coming at you or some like cool flying around cliffside type things, but
yeah,
I don't know. I've been having trouble. Like my problem is I want to digitally paint them, and I'm so bad at actually digital painting.
Really, I might be able to like suggest some stuff there because like.
But I also like we just changed these wings like on the 16th, and it's a slight change. But I sent you the thing, so you can see the changes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they do look better this way. But like, so I gotta get used to it. But I also, the second we said say so, I was like, I need to draw someone that like is cute, but I'm trying to keep myself from getting caught up in the feathers.
Oh, don't worry, you will. You will.
All of the feathers, just start autistically detailing.
I think we might have a pretty solid stat block here, honestly. I need to figure out like some of the
throw these at.
Oh crap, I didn't mean to close that down.
Oh no.
Edit.
Gone forever.
No, it's coming back, it's coming back. Special abilities.
Actually, let's probably come over up here.
What happened? Did I not save it? No!
No!
It saved! No! No, I hit cancel! No! Will that work?
Oh.
Okay, I gotta try to recreate this really quickly. No. No.
Sarcosian Angel build speedrun at 8%.
Right, okay. Really.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vel.
Oh, it's okay. I just gotta.
You were putting so much love into it.
I was. We can do it again. We can get there.
This actually needs
Weakness.
to go
Fire.
this way.
Um. Natural armor is like. It was 10. Yeah, it was 10. Yeah, I have a problem with data retention. I really do. It tends to like just all go out the window all the time.
What's data retention?
Fight 48. Okay. Oof. 2 of them. 2d8. And wing 1d8. Do 2 of them. Okay, there we go. Well, if people stop binding the enter key to do something and make up their minds whether or not they want the enter key to, like, make a new line or, like, actually confirm, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because every time I try and do a new line, it saves everything. It's awful. Yeah, or things being erased and lost. Jay, I think I have a better way of doing this. Oh no! It made an entirely new one. Okay. We didn't lose it. We didn't lose it. Hang on.
Found it?
Yeah, I found it. Hang on. Yes, I found it. I found it. Okay. I'm gonna, there we go. Okay, hang on, everyone. Hang on.
Hang it on. I'm over here with you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do. Okay, yes, alright. I'll bring that up at the end of things. Okay, that's how I'll do it. Edit. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's that back. There is the stat walking back. Okay, we have everything again.
Yay!
Only while flying ends flying. DC. I think that's probably a DC like. High DCs like good fort saves are like plus 16 or something at that point, right? Let's say like a DC 30 to be not be knocked prone by it.
I'll just make sure, like, if I ever get this rolling again, I will not be talked into letting everybody have 25 point buy and and +1 templates.
DC 15 plus strength mod. That would be 25. So let's do DC 20 plus strength mod. Because this sort of dive bomb attack can only you can only do that while flying.
Yeah.
So DC 20. I need 12 blunt damage. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Is there a way I can do a Oh, I can do this. Okay, comma. Dive bomb. And that is 5d12 plus 10. Okay.
Oh, wait.
See, dive bomb. 50 to 70 damage. Yep. And it can knock you prone. Softening whale. Which is going to be a, I will say DC, right? So, let's see, DC, DC 30, 25 plus Jaw mod will save. On success, nothing happens. On failure, you must run away in fear, or you want it to be a variable, or you don't want anything about this to be completely consistent, do you, Cradler?
What's consistency?
That's what I thought. Let's do, for 1D, yeah, 1D, let's do 1D4 rounds, but 1D3 also works. 1D3 is probably a bit more on the more generous to players side. If you fail by 10 or more, you instead cower. Let's say so count. Cower in place for 1d4 rounds, or until you take damage. Okay. Dreadful presence. Merely witnessing. Also, if I get any of these wrong, Cradler, just like speak up and let me know. Merely witnessing the Sarcosian angel It's even the most resolute of minds, as on seeing a Sarcosian angel, and as long as it remains in sight, you are shaken. This cannot affect individuals with intelligence or wisdom lower than.
Xanalar Sarcosian probably sounds familiar because I based it off of the word sarcoid, which is a type of like skin cancer growth thing.
See, I was gonna say that you'd base it on the Sarkeesian. That was my personal private guess.
What's the Sarkeesian?
The Sarkeesian is slightly famous for being, mostly for being like a D-list internet celebrity, and also for having a lot of death and rape threats made against her, which was really not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be that kind of shitlord on the internet.
Yeah, like the thing is, no one like it was clear that she was only half knew what she was talking about, and that's a personal opinion thing, but like I think like she only half knew what she was talking about, and then as soon as you start threatening people like that, you realize that like everyone else like anyone who's a decent person then has to go be on their side because they're the one who are being threatened with this, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to go be on her side, but I don't have a choice now.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I knew about sarcoids because horses can get those. And I knew three horses that have gotten sarcoids. Yeah, they're like little skin tumor, cancery, whatever. I think it's more of a tumor.
Are they benign?
You can get, they can be. Okay. So like you can leave them, but they're usually not great. So you usually try to get rid of them. And the two horses that I was around more, they ended up doing a lot of like home remedy stuff, instead of like trying to say like get it cut out, because I think like a lot of other skin things, you try to cut it out, it comes back. And one of them had it on his ear. The other one, I can't remember, it might have been near his girth line. So it was gonna bother. The ear one probably wouldn't have been the end of the world for Poncho, but you know, it was an icky thing, so we wanted to get rid of it to make sure that it didn't bother him. But the one on the girth line would have been a bother, so like that definitely got treated. Very common in gray horses, by the way.
Oh, I wonder why.
Gray horses are more susceptible to skin cancers and stuff.
Now, let me ask Brad, do you want it to be like a cone or like a cloud? I'm thinking like a cloud. The images, like, that's an exhalation from them. Yeah, so what I did is, like, it lingers and it lasts for 1d6 rounds, and the duration is the same as the cooldown. You roll a single dice for both of them, right? So when one cloud fades, it can basically breathe out another.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense to me.
Yes. The Breath of a Sarcosian Angel. this sickening cloud of fermented gases
Fermented.
that reek of putrefied fruit. And the sea. Characters standing within the miasmic haze, defined by its must roll a fortitude save. DC. Probably like DC like 20 something. Right? Because it's not something to like knock roll over all the time.
Yeah.
Why don't we tie it to their charisma? So DC 25, 20 plus charisma modifier. If the character succeeds, they are sickened until they exit the cloud. Do you want them to be able to stand in the cloud if they do well? It's up to you.
I think if they do well, they could probably stay in the cloud, but since it's something they would have to re-roll for again, I feel like they would still
Okay.
Otherwise want to move out in case they have to.
Yeah. Nothing happens, but
staying there might mean you gotta try again.
Failure results in the character being thickened for 1d4 rounds.
Yeah, let's go for 1d4 rounds.
While failing by 10 or more results in the character becoming nauseated for 1d2 rounds. As long as a character remains in the cloud, they must make this save at the start of their turn. Critical failures result in the inability to save versus the angels, whatever it's gonna call it. It's gonna be called a reaper, but like
which
the angels.
Which thing are we naming?
Whispers versus the angels' whispers.
Go.
Whispers. Whenever it downs something, everything in sight range of the Sarcosian angel, must make a DC 30. 20 what? 20 5 plus mod will save those who fail and hear the Sarcosian angel whispering to them.
I still really like that idea, and I'm so glad you brought that up.
It's it.
So like I'm just imagining like one of the keepers of the waste maybe like making it back, and they just have like PTSD flashbacks of this whispering.
No. I think I like the idea. I like the idea that not that whispering does anything exactly prevent it prevents morale bonuses.
Yeah.
And can no longer receive morale bonuses until the angel leaves its until they leave the angel's presence. Okay. Ooh. Think we might have it. It's doing pretty good. This thing has a ridiculous CMD though. CMD is 74.
What's up, man?
Yeah, you are not grappling this thing.
I wouldn't imagine you would be able to. It's pretty big.
It's very big. And I guess that makes sense, right? But still.
What mad lad is trying to grapple this?
I want to know I want to know what absolute legend is going to, go and grapple this angel.
Not my halfling, I'll tell you that much.
Well, your halfling seems to have this idea known as a survival instinct.
Sometimes he does have a survival instinct.
A monk? You think a monk would go up and try and grapple this? Well, knowing the way players can get, I guess one of them could.
It would probably happen. Some mad lad's gonna be like, I'm gonna grapple this.
Someone, there's a story running around the D&D Reddit about someone grappling a dragon.
I can see it though.
Not like a small dragon, like a full-grown adult dragon.
Did I show you the size of the red dragon that I've got in the setting?
No, you have to tell me about that afterwards.
Oh, I'll show you the size of it.
Okay. Able to grapple things up to 2 sizes larger than you. It's medium, large, huge. So yeah, a monk could actually grapple this. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
I want to see the monk build that does this, that grappled this.
I mean, I guess that's why he got up on the wings and tried to get it by the wings. You know?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know how you would grab it by the face or anything. I guess you could get it by the.
The more I draw this, the less comfortable I am with this, frankly. I need you to know that.
Why? Are you scaring yourself with it?
A little bit. This is a little bit. It's such a macabre,
The whole wasteland is very macabre. There's a lot of body horror potential inside.
It's such Death's Head grin.
Yes. I mean, and that's the point too. Is when people get scared of things that look, humanoid that are slightly off. That's also another thing in monster design.
I feel like it is staring into me.
Yeah.
Reorientate yourself so you're looking down and it's standing up. Reaching for a treat, you're a That's amazing! That makes it way less threatening. But we can pretend to ourselves we know this thing is actually plummeting. right?
Coming down for those snacks.
Oh yeah. This thing is with this thing, you are the treats. You're distinctly the treats.
It likey the people food.
Okay, yeah. All right. I think mine's good. I think I'm gonna bring up the thing. Hang on, I'm gonna take a look at it. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Okay. There must be an add-on somewhere that gives jiggling googly eyes you can put into that art program, right? There has to be somewhere. Okay, I covered it up, so you guys don't have to see it, but I still do. I still have to see it. Okay, but I've covered it up because Sarcosian Angel. Here's what we have. Recommended XP is 204,800 XP. It's a huge aberration. CR 19 creature. Plus 20 initiative. Blind sense 200. Blind sight 120. Perception plus 3. AC 29. Touch AC of 24. Hooded AC of 13. Its HP is 400. Or if you want to roll for it, is 20d12 plus 270. Fortitude of plus 9, Reflex of plus 16, and Will save of plus 3. It seems a bit low for something that is low for something it's like scale. Let's go in there, let's boost that a little bit, I think. It's actually reflex 5, right? The saves seem a little bit low.
Yeah. Maybe a touch.
Yeah, because usually the saves are about like it's got like a 20-20 like 10 saves going on usually. So let's do like let's do 26 and then 18, 26, 9 for fort, reflex, and will. So it's definitely very will high, but still respectable fortitude save. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, most ones are 2 moderate, 1 bad, yeah. DR10 good. Immunity to negative energy. SR28, weakness fire. I think we need to get this immunity to mind affecting as well, frankly. Unless you want someone to try and like mind control one. Right there?
I don't feel like trying to mind control it would be a bad idea.
Oh, I have an idea. Hang on. Immunity, negative energy, and under whisper. Anyone who thinks to has a mind influencing effect on the Sarcosian Angel is automatically injected to its whispers. Protective. Obviously protective slime, okay.
Eventually I will try to do like actually like cool pictures of these guys.
Any mind influencing effects, just ones that would need a mental link. I think any is a good. I think any fits in with the theme of this. These are supposed to be like weird terrors.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Okay, so yeah. Defense, immunity, negative energy, and mind affecting. Okay. There we go. Little update. So immunities are negative energy and mind affecting. Spell resistance of 28 and a weakness to fire. Fly speed of speed 50 feet. Fly speed of 80 feet with a perfect maneuverability. Melee is bite plus 45, and it does 48 plus 10 damage. It has 2 hoof attacks, which are plus 39, and do 2d8 plus 5 damage. It has 2 wing attacks, which are plus 39, and do 1d8 plus 5 damage. It can only choose to use either the hooves or the wings. It can't do them both at the same time.
Makes sense.
And it has a dive bomb attack, which is a plus 45 and does 5d12 plus 10 damage. Haha. Someone tried to come into the chat and spam me with it was an ad bot that tried to come by. It isn't captured.
What?
It has a space of 15 feet. Its special attacks are dive bomb attack, and it's only while flying, and it ends flying. And it requires a DC 20, or DC 30 for this 20 plus strength mod, or save, or else be knocked prone. And it does the plunge. It also has the miasmic breath as a spell-like ability, which might have been under special attacks, I'm not sure. It's a 25-foot cloud originating in front of the Sarcosian Angel. It lingers for and recharges in 1d6 rounds. Strength 31, Dex 42, Con 28, Int 10, Wisdom 16, Charisma 20. Base attack bonus of plus 36, CMB of plus 48, and CMD of 74. Its feats are improved critical, improved initiative, keen scent, trample, weapon focus bite, weapon focus claws. Its skills are acrobatics, diplomacy, fly, intimidate, and perform. I might remove diplomacy from there. I don't think it's trying to be a diplomat. I think perform oratory covers it.
Hopefully.
Yes, let's remove diplomacy.
Don't necessarily see one of these things sitting around a table discussing
I would put,
terms.
I'm gonna put Klein and Bluff in there. I like the idea if you could communicate with one of these things, it would be very, very, like, deceptive or, like, concerning to talk to them. So, special abilities, Cacophony Whale, DC 30, 25 plus Charisma mod, will save. On success, nothing happens. On failure, you must run away in fear for 1d3 rounds. If you fail by 10 or more, you instead cower in place for 1d4 rounds or until you take damage. So basically, you cower in place until something, like, hurts you.
Like, knocks you out of this being freaked out, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, let me know if this fits the angel properly.
It sounds like it does.
Yeah. Dreadful presence. Merely witnessing a Sarcosian angel shakes even the most resolute of minds. When seeing a Sarcosian angel, as long as it remains in sight, you are shaken. This cannot affect individuals with intelligence or wisdom lower than 4. So basically, you have to have a plus. You have to have a 4 intelligence or higher for this to actually work. Otherwise, you don't understand what the angel is, I think. Is kind of the idea behind it.
I think that would be the gist of that.
The miastic breath. And this describes what happens, right? The Fortitude save is a DC 25, 20 plus Charisma mod. If the character succeeds, nothing happens. Failure results in the character being sickened for 1d4 rounds, while failing by 10 or more, results in the character feeling nauseated for 1d2 rounds. As long as the character remains in the cloud, they must make the save at the start of their turn. Critical failures result in the inability to save versus the angel's whispers. Xanlar recommends just wisdom. Just wisdom. Clever animals would likely freak out, right? It's either or. It's not both of them. As long as you have intelligence or wisdom that is 4 or higher, it works on you. You don't need both of them to be higher than that. Just one of them.
Just the one, really. Just the one, really.
Whispers. Whenever it downs something, so like whenever it, I'm gonna make that. Yeah, hang on. I want to make that a little bit different because it was originally down. So I want to do it whenever it makes something thrown or downs something. Everything within sight range. Here's the Sarcosian. Everything in sight range that could see the Sarcosian angel, not here. Everything in sight range. Everything within sight range. There we go. Within sight range of the Sarcosian angel. Must make a DC 30, 25 plus Charisma mod will save. Those who fail can hear the Sarcosian angel whispering to them. They can no longer receive morale bonuses until they leave the angel's presence. Anyone who attempts to cast a mind-influencing effect on the Sarcosian angel is automatically subjected to its whispers. And then Protective Slime, which is every 1d6 rounds, Sarcosian angel can make a full round action to coat itself with Protective Slime. This grants it a plus 20 bonus to stealth, although it cannot hide in plain sight. This bonus to stealth is doubled while flying, representing like the whole idea that like when they were barely like a shimmer in the air, if that.
Yeah.
When they were fully coated. As long as the slime remains active, the Sarcosian angel is no longer weak to fire. The weakness to fire is the same. The weakness to fire is the same. It has the same length of time as its recharge. So if you roll like a 5 on the recharge, then it lasts for 5 rounds.
What happened?
I think that about covers it. Can you think of anything else? Okay. Yeah, I will. I will be printing this off into like a PDF or something. I will send it over your way.
Yeah.
Zanwai says that she imagines that spells designed to dehydrate could counter the slime at DM discretion. I would say so. That seems to make sense to me.
Probably work.
Yeah, like I feel like as a GM, like you have options. Like if like you can
Yeah.
maybe like wash it or something like that. Like I feel like there's
Oh, yeah.
options too.
Washing it was definitely like an option because the one that ended up in the automized fungin definitely got a bath. I mean, obviously it re-slimed afterwards, but you know when they were initially trying to like transport and handle it, and catch it, they probably
Yeah. Um, okay, yeah. For revolting dust of dryness, etc. Yeah, like I'd let that work as a GM. I definitely think.
what?
I don't know that I want to specify it. 'Cause I feel like that's something that should be like sorted out at like whatever table you're at. But yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, so we have. Yeah, there's two pictures of this, and that is the stat block. I think we did some good work tonight.
I had the most indecisive because I like restarted my thing like 5 million times.
It happens. It absolutely happens.
And I ended up going for acute in the long run.
You know what? It absolutely works. It absolutely works.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I think I might be ready to start like winding down or calling it shortly. I can maybe add some more details, but I also probably need to go. And unfortunately, it's been really on brand lately. I really wish it wasn't. I'm gonna have to go be sick and like I'll it. I don't care for it at all.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of sick lately.
Thank you. Like I'm not keen on it, but nevertheless, here we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where you're putting any of this stuff, but yeah, I will absolutely send you over this awful abomination of a stat block.
I will put it in my little tabletop holder.
Yay.
And probably do a little pass around if you're not opposed to that.
What? No. We made this. Like, you are good to do whatever with it.
Like, I know it would be fun to see what Easy thinks of it, even though he hasn't
Oh, yeah.
been busy. But it'd be kind of fun to see what he thinks.
Oh, definitely. And there you go, spelling mistakes and all. You know, speaking of easy, speaking of mode, you want to go raid him?
We could totally raid him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up and go raid mode. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us this evening. It was a little different, little awkward. Had so many technical issues, but thank you all of you who came by and stuck by. We really appreciate it. We will be back ideally again next week, and I will be serving up some kind of awful thing from Ido for us to try and draw and stat block out.
That would be so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say, Cradler?
If you see a feather fall from the sky when you're walking around, run.
always solid advice. Meantime, thank you so much, everyone who came. You all mean a great deal to me. I want you to go take care of yourselves, go with all my love, and when you get to Mode, let him know that I sent you. Meantime, good night. I will see you next week. Goodbye.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm going to be sick in a minute. Unfortunately. It's awful. It's haven't it's just gastrointestinal issues. So I'm being
digestive system. Why?
Yeah.
That's okay. I kind of understand because the meds can sometimes destroy my intestinal system.
Oh no.
Because that's because metformin will sometimes give you a digestive upset, which I had for the first 2 months taking it, just consistently anytime I took it. So I was in the bathroom a lot, and that still happens sometimes if I don't